Hello and welcome back to Mideast in Depth. Today our focus is on Turkey. Metin Gurcan writes in Al Monitor's Turkey Pulse that continued fighting in Turkey is raising security and transparency concerns about the upcoming parliamentary elections and how voters, not politicians, could be the losers. He states the primary issues about the elections are how to ensure security in the 22 predominantly Kurdish provinces in eastern and southeastern Turkey, and whether the election results will reflect the free will of voters. The writer claims the real contest in those provinces will be between the People's Democratic Party, HDP, and the Justice and Development Party, AKP. The HDP had major successes in the June 7th elections, but couldn't become the key representative of Kurdish politics under the shadow of the armed power of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, and the dominant AKP, which seems to be backed by the state security forces. He continues, it is obvious that President Erdogan's goal in the coming election is to restore the AKP as the single ruling party, which is the only way Erdogan will be able to achieve his fundamental goal of an executive presidency. He adds, the November election will also tell us whether the HDP can be the driving engine of the Turkish left, but the election, in addition to its political ramifications, has become a struggle for the dignity for the Kurdish political movement. He writes, another concern is the possibility of election day attacks on HDP supporters and their offices in the east of the country, and AKP people and the offices in the east and southeast. The author concludes, a balance needs to be struck between election security and election transparency by fully enabling political party representatives to observe the voting and counting process. The editorial in The Independent states that for all the talk of Barack Obama's anti-ISIS coalition, the People's Protection Units, YPG, the armed wing of the autonomous government of Syrian Kurdistan, are the only force to have won successive victories against ISIS in the past year. It asserts the benefits of the YPG extending its campaign westward with the help of US-led airstrikes ought to be appreciated across the coalition. Secularism and a respect for democracy make the Kurds attractive allies in a region stripped of fighting units beholden to such ideas. Yet it claims the guaranteed response from Turkey will be one of recrimination and fear-mongering. Previous YPG gains have been met with unproven smears of ethnic cleansing by the pro-government media. The editorial continues, Mr. Erdogan and his allies talk up the possibility of the Kurds forming a breakaway state from their gains in Syria and elsewhere. In reality, the president seeks to stoke anti-Kurdish sentiment after his Justice and Development Party lost its parliamentary majority in elections this year, thanks to a spike in support for a Kurdish rival. The article continues, it is a corrupt strategy that presents significant risks to the anti-ISIS campaign. Kurdish resources have been distracted from the task in Syria by Mr. Erdogan's offensive. It falls to America now to request that its latest ally wind in such attacks and in the strongest terms. It concludes stating, the Kurds have proven capable of establishing common cause with Arab tribes. The West's diplomatic efforts must focus on fostering such alliances as part of a push to cut off the supply lines to Raqqa and disrupt ISIS's movements, while the coalition steps up its air support for the Kurds. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. And subscribe to Mideast in Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.